Is it a move that indicates the ever-growing partnership with India, or is it aimed at overtly provoking China? Those are the questions doing the rounds over the US delegation's ongoing India visit. Led by Nancy Pelosi, the former Speaker of the US House of Representatives, the ongoing visit by the American delegation has been attracting a lot of attention. The delegation is in Dharamshala in India. Dharamshala in India's Himachal Pradesh is home to the Tibetan government in exile and the spiritual leader, the Dalai Lama. Remember, the Dalai Lama fled Tibet in 1959, and since then, for more than 6 decades, a large Tibetan community led by the Dalai Lama has been living in India. They have established monasteries, temples and schools. The bipartisan US delegation will be meeting the Dalai Lama tomorrow, that is the 19th of June. The Nancy Pelosi-led 7-member delegation is expected to reaffirm America's support for Tibetan autonomy. They will also be holding meetings with Indian business leaders as well as government officials. But the most closely watched meeting, of course, will be the one with the Dalai Lama. The US delegation's visit is not by chance. It is carefully timed. This ongoing visit comes just a week after the US House of Representatives passed a procedural vote for the Resolve Tibet Act. This has now been sent to President Joe Biden for his signature, and it could soon become a law. Here's what this act is all about. The Resolve Tibet Act was first passed by the US House of Representatives in February 2023. Last month, the US Senate cleared it. The bill urges China to negotiate with the Tibetan leadership, and that too without preconditions. It is aimed at resolving the long-standing issues between Tibet and Beijing. China, of course, views the Dalai Lama's actions as anti-China and separatist, quote-unquote. China is firmly against the Dalai Lama's meetings with officials of any country. In the past, China has vehemently opposed the Dalai Lama's meetings with US officials and even responded with aggressive statements. And this time around, China has said that it is gravely concerned about the reports. Beijing said that Tibet has always been a part of China. They claim that its affairs are Chinese domestic affairs and that no external influence would ever be allowed. China hasn't just stopped with asking the US to not sign the Tibet bill into a law. It also warned that it will take resolute measures to firmly defend its sovereignty, security and development interests. Let's just zoom out and look at the developments. For the last few years, ties have remained tense between Beijing and Washington. In fact, a week ago, the G7 countries singled out China for its support to Russia's war against Ukraine, along with a host of other issues. You would already know about the Galwan clashes between Indian and Chinese troops 4 years ago. And amid India's friction with China, US-India ties have only grown stronger in recent years. After all, Washington and New Delhi have a lot in common. From trade to technology to defense, there are multiple avenues of engagement. Just yesterday, there were National Security Advisor level talks between India and the US in New Delhi.
To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.